Yeah, he wasn't ready for it. So, like, seeing it, I was like, I'm going to get rid of him. I wanted to pull out of the competition. I was like, I'm not going to have him run again. And then I went home and I kind of drained the bitch out of me. And I sat down and I said, either I'm going to tuck tail and run myself, or I'm going to man up and I'm going to grab my dog and we're going to come to the competition and we're going to show them something we never done before. It's like, all right, my dog ran, and I know how it is. It's somebody's dog run, you're going to go back, talk about it or whatever. So I was like, when I step on this field, I'm going to act like I've been here before. I'm going to walk with my head up. I'm going to show some pride, and I'm not going to pull the shit that I just did the other night. It's not the dog, it's you. It's one of those moments where you have to check yourself and you have to go, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? I can't blame it all on my dog at this point. It's something I didn't prepare him for. 100%. So this is on me. Once I got that into my head, by the time we stepped on the field, it was just confidence. It was like I said, I felt I was unstoppable.
Go and get it with no hesitation. This that never quit. Start that elevation. This that process. This that in the making.
What is up, everyone? I know we missed a couple of weeks. We were super busy with Canine Street League, but we are happy to be back with Elevated Canine Podcast. I am here with my co-host,
Roel Guerra.
And today we got the champs here. We got my man Chris Sykes down there, and my boy Kenny over here, who owns Rico. Let's get started, bro. What's good? How you guys doing?
Good. Great day.
So what's up? How you feeling after? We'll go with you first, Kenny. How you feeling after a Canine Street League, bro?
It all came down. You know, it's just for the past 4 weeks, 5 weeks, after I'm gonna say 40 days, consistent trying to work.
Just training for it.
After that day, Saturday and Sunday, now it's just laid back, chill day.
How long you gonna chill before you get started again?
Well, the next thing I think I'm gonna do the Street League 1. So
Heck yeah.
When they give us that time,
get ready for that. Start prepping.
Of course, I'll prep. From now to then, I'll keep my training. Probably, I'll take a week off, and then after that, I'll hit it every week, of course.
Cool, man.
Keep it brushed up.
So you had kind of like a training camp, 40 days out from the competition. Every day you were working on.
I wouldn't say every day, but I'm gonna say at least 3 times a week.
Got it.
3 to 4 times a week. Intense training. Of course, training every day.
Yeah.
Keeping up with my
Something,
obedience.
yeah.
Something, But the intense part, at least 3 to 4 days a week.
So Canine Street League specific things you were working at least 3 to 4 days a week.
Not their specific things, because I didn't want to anticipate my dog and all this stuff.
Oh, you don't want that? Yeah.
So I would just do other scenarios, which was similar somewhat to it. Person edge, other things, but not exactly that scenario.
Got it. Just keeping him on his toes.
What's up with you, Chris? How you feeling after Canine Street League, bro?
Feeling good.
Well, both you guys did the sideshow. That was crazy. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely.
But then, how long were you prepping? Did you start prepping before?
I think it was 2 weeks before you told me.
That you started like actually working the scenarios and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did a little bit of work before, but then we had a couple of setbacks. We stopped training. Then.
Yeah.
But a lot of that, like a lot of the obedience stuff, I always keep pretty tight.
Yeah,
it's more of like introducing them to like different decoys and trying to prepare them for like pressure.
For sure. What do you think is like what was the hardest scenario in Canine Street League for you?
The carjacking scenario by far. I did not think he was going to bite. Yeah, for sure.
Bro, our boy Rico almost snatched homie in the face. Did you see the video?
Yeah.
He literally came over.
I didn't see it.
I was there. I was right there with the live stream. If he wouldn't have gotten his face out of the way, he would have been missing
Rico
a
just
lip
flew
or a
into
nose.
it, huh?
Because as soon as that door came open, he got him right here, right underneath the collar.
Heck yeah. I was like,
went
dang.
for it.
And I know player Chris was going to different places like, yo, just working that scenario over
I
and
was
over.
letting everybody using my car just so I could get the reps in.
Did player P try to go to the back?
I think so. I mean, he may have turned towards the back.
Got it. Because I saw the little barrier back there when you put him in. I saw it moving. I was like, man, this is another dog.
Yeah,
trying to go to the
one
back
other dog
seat.
went under, went to the back. Exxon, which
Exxon,
was
yeah.
also
Did it twice.
it was also a good dog. But Matt, well, before we come back to the Canine Street League stuff, man, why don't we'll start with you, Kenny. A little bit of history about you, man. When you started, who you started with, and go from there.
Of course, I like dogs my whole life. Started with pit bulls. Loved the pit bull line. Started doing some personal protection with Malcolm, which is our main trainer from LA Master Canine. Passed away a couple years back. Met him, started with my pit bulls, And then I got introduced to, and this is back in 1999. Then I got first time introduced to the Dutch Shepherd. Seen the Dutch Shepherd, paid no attention to it, thought it was a alley dog.
Yeah, ugly.
Never seen it, skinny. Like, damn, what the hell is that? Like, what are you doing training that?
Yeah.
Nothing about it.
Impressed you.
Yes, until he told me what it was, and he said, let me show you what it does. Blew my mind. That's what I wanted my pit bull to do.
Right.
So when I seen that Mally working, that Dutch, like, oh, and it locks, and it stays on the bite.
It locks. He's like, and it's like a pit bull. It bites hard like that.
That's what I want. And the agility, like, just fast.
Yeah.
I said, oh, I want one of those. Come year 2000, Malcolm was training his own personal dog. He already had it, a Dutch Shepherd named Joe. Bad dog to this day. Can't say nothing about that. That dog to this day, hands down, that's a tough, nice, good, tough dog. Bought his dog from him back then. That was his personal dog. Bought it, fell in love with it, fell in love with the game.
How was he with the family, like bringing into the family?
Perfect. Great, because he brought it up with his family.
Got it.
So just doing that transition to my family was not hard. It just, of course, I slowed and I always kept an eye on him just in case. Mm-hmm. And I stood on him. I just took the dog, and I always knowing about being alpha.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So when he did that transition, he knew I was alpha. Never gave him a chance to try to power me or anything, so I always kept that. And he did that transition perfectly. Till this day, like,
one of your.
I was happy, and I was one of
You
my
think that's
best
one of your
dogs.
top dogs to this day, or you think Rico's
doing it.
Yeah.
Joe had his time at his time.
Yeah.
Rico succeeded that dog and more.
Do you think that times? I mean, how has the game changed from back then to right now? Like, what are the differences that you see mostly?
Of course, it's gotten bigger. Back then, we could pull up the training and nobody have a suit. Only one person out of 20. Very, very no sleeves. So we would have to wait for the main trainer to get there.
Got it.
Nowadays, everybody and their mama has a suit.
Yeah. Everybody's a trainer.
Yeah, everybody's a trainer. Back then, it was only one or two trainers, and that's what you stay dedicated to.
Yep.
Especially if they're giving you good work.
Yep.
Me, that was the only trainer that I knew, and just happened to be that he was the best dude to be in LA. And his training was off the hook. So I just stood dedicated 100% to him. I would go see other trainers and see what they're up to and how they're training. But I've always kept it 100 with Malcolm.
With Malcolm.
He's always showed me that love.
Malcolm, what was his last name?
Malcolm Lazenby.
Yeah, and
LA
he
Master Canine.
rest in peace. He just passed away like maybe 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. He
Yep.
passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, I never. I mean, I saw him a couple times, but I never really got to train with them or anything like that. They weren't really into the sports stuff, and that's what I was into. So I didn't really get to bond too much. But I mean, being in the LA scene, you know who everybody is, and you always hear about LA Master Canine.
Yeah. And you got to remember to this day, like all these guys that you know now, if they're from LA, they went through LA Master Canine. A lot of these guys that you see now that are doing good in the game, they went through LA Master Canine.
Yeah.
Especially if you're badass and you're from the LA area.
Yep.
Old school dudes. They went through him.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's where we learned our foundation from.
That's cool. You gotta give respect where it's due.
That's why every time I do any show, I wear his shirt. I gotta keep it on him. He walks me through every time I run my dog.
That's dope.
I know he's with me. Just like this past weekend. I don't know how Chris did it.
We can talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that a little
Malcolm
bit.
was with me, I feel it. I represent him all the time because he was my dude.
That's cool, man.
And to many other guys too, but he was my guy to this day. And Rico was one of the last dogs that he actually helped build.
Got it.
At the time he was sick, so he wasn't able to do too much at once.
But he was there. Even
there.
if somebody else was working them or something, he was always there.
Right, he was always there, giving us pointers and letting us know how to do the routine, of course, and the scenario, and walking us through.
That's cool.
But just from the time that he passed away till the time that I met him, I already had over 18, 17 years in
the game.
So for him to walk us through, it was pretty easy for him.
Right.
Because we understood it and knew.
That's
but yet
cool,
he was
man.
always there for us. And I always wanted him to. I never wanted to do nothing on my own.
Yeah.
without his approval, really.
Got it.
And pretty much I knew I would make the decision before. That's how I knew I was getting better. And then when I would run it by him, he'd be like, yeah, that's how you do it.
That's
cool.
cool.
That's when I knew, okay, I know what I'm doing then.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew I was
Well,
picking
shoot, you
it up.
spent a lot of time right there. I mean, you had to pick.
my
You
whole
got to pick
time.
everything up. You know.
Yeah, everything. You know, he wasn't just my trainer. We would hang out after. He was my friend. You know, it wasn't just seeing him on the training field.
That's cool.
He was
man.
my buddy. I would go to his house. I would hang out with him. You know, so he was my friend. You know, we talked more than just about our dogs.
Yeah.
You know, so after that relationship built, it just got better and better,
That's what it's about,
deeper
man.
and deeper.
That's cool, man. And then the rest is history.
The rest is history, and we're here going up against Chris.
Chris, what's up, man? Talk to us a little bit about, your story a little bit with dogs and how you end up where you're at right now.
I'd say I started off with pit bulls too. I was always like into how they work, how they bite. It was a dude named what's his name from Dark Dynasty Canine.
Oh yeah.
Marlon?
He had a
With
dog
Hulk?
named Ace. Nah, I wasn't into
Ace.
Hulk.
Oh, okay.
He had a dog named Ace, and he was all ripped up. And I had ended up like I had saved up some money, and my mom told me like they were selling dogs around the corner. And she didn't think I had money, so she was just telling me so I could go look. I ended up going and looking and asking if she could give me one. She said no. I ended up just pulling out the birthday money I've been stacking up. I ended up buying the dog and showing up. It was like they won't take refunds. So I mean,
It was a pit bull.
it was a pit bull. I ended up breeding them, and long story short, they caught parvo. We had to like cure all the dogs, and we got super attached. It was like 9 dogs. I think we had like 7 left, and they were getting a little older after we cured them. So my mom told me like, if you want to keep them, you have to train them. So she bought me a couple books and was like, well, it's up to you to train them. So I'll just go to the field by my house and just train dogs, like start learning how to train. That eventually led me into the Malinois. Like I couldn't see videos of pit bulls actually doing that type of work. So then I went on YouTube. It was like early in the day. I used to train the pit bulls.
What year
too.
was this?
I don't remember. It was so long ago. I had to be maybe I don't know, maybe around 13. I was like 13.
You got it.
But yeah, so I would like look up like bite suits, bite sleeves. Nothing was out back in the day. You couldn't find anything on YouTube. So we would wrap the towels around our arm and like I would make my dog bite my arm and like just shake it, try to keep him on, try to bring out like some type of aggression. I didn't know what I was doing. Then I would like go show them off to my friends and tell my friends like, oh, look at what my dog can do. And they'd be like, all right, let's see. So I would turn the dog on, but I did all the decoy work myself.
Right.
So when I tell the dog like watch him, the dog looks up at me and he jumps and he grabs me by the arm and I'm like,
Look what my dog can do.
everything I prepared for just went like straight downhill. So, and then
he did what you wanted him to do, just the wrong
he
person.
did, yeah. I just didn't know what I was doing. Then we ended up like seeing Malinois. Like I saw some crazy like video of Malinois training, and I was like, I gotta have one of those dogs. Like I saw them as puppies doing the work that the pits just weren't capable of doing at that time, or at least the dogs we saw. And then I want to say that led me up to like buying a dog from Chip, CJ's Police Canines up north. I ended up buying some dogs from him. He watched a couple videos of me training. He was like, hey, why don't you just take these dogs and train them, and then I'll buy them back from you. So we ended up doing that for a little while, and then I started getting like, he would get dogs from Europe, and he would send me like one dog, and I would train them and then sell them back. I would raise them and then bring them back when they were old enough. And then I kind of started buying my own dogs and doing that same thing. And then I want to say around that time I met you. I think I was around 18. I met you and I was like obsessed with like focus healing. And I remember like thinking I was so cool with my ball underneath my armpit. And you came, you're like, nah. You got to do this. You got to do that. I remember like seeing that. And then like my thing is you'll teach me something and I'll do it, but I'll go off on my own. I'll do it for a couple months. And then I want to come back. And I'm like already in different stages of like developing something different. And that was what impressed me, like seeing you do a lot of sport work and do like it was different. I came from like seeing like the police dogs and helping like raise them and seeing like protection dogs, and then sport was just totally different for me. So it was like I want the sport obedience, but I want like a crazy dog because the culture was, if your dog was a protection dog, you know, the nerve is already there. At that time, you would test the dog. Either the dog had it or the dog didn't. If the dog didn't have it, you get rid of the dog. Everybody says you don't feed dogs at work. Or if your dog runs, you don't feed a dog that's going to run. They got to go. So that was kind of like the culture. And then once I started hanging around you, I want to say the last maybe 3-4 years, I started seeing you build dogs, and then it really took me for a spin. It's like, okay, it's not about what the dog can do naturally. I mean, genetics is a huge thing, but it's more of you knowing how to build the dog and help the dog. Like you take what the dog has, and then you help build off of whatever that is, and then the dog can go further. I didn't think it was possible. I just was taught you test the dog. You're always hard on the dog. Every training session was a test.
Right.
And now I'm at the point where I'm like, oh shoot, I could take this dog and build this dog. Or even at Friday Night Bites, like when we do our sessions, I'll have dogs that like completely can't do it, and we'll tell the owners like, I don't think they're capable, but let's see where we can go.
Yep.
And then you start building them, and you see those dogs. Yeah, you start seeing them level up, and you're like, I never thought this dog would do it. So that's like where the stage I'm at. I'm still learning, still building, just trying to learn from the best and surround myself around people that are doing big things.
Yeah, no, I think you bring up a good point. Even this weekend in Canine Street League, like one of the dogs, it was a young dog that was in there, and he popped off the bite, didn't know what to do, and the dude was like, first thing he says, "That's it, bro. I'm gonna get rid of him." I called him up. I said, "Hey, bro, you gonna get rid of that dog? I'll buy him off you." I said, "Bro, that's a good dog, but he's so young."
13 months.
Yeah, and he didn't have the life experience. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the experience.
Too young.
And sometimes we let our ego ride off our dogs, and in doing that we fail our dog, and then we, because they don't do good, we say the dog's not good, but really is that you're not good. You didn't do the right foundation on this dog. Like we're talking earlier, like Rico, you did what was right. You built him. Like he's a 5-year-old dog. He's a mature dog. You put him on anything.
Right.
We seen him in the sideshow. That boy was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you've already put this foundation on him. You showed him. And he's a good, genetically good dog.
That's the key, the foundation.
When you said, I'm going to put him in, I was like, you sure, bro? I already knew the scenarios.
I was there when you said that too.
I said, are you sure? And he was getting all riled, pumped up by everybody there. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do
ready.
it. All right. But
You were ready.
But his dog had never seen any of that stuff before. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about the sideshow.
Yeah, the sideshow. We're talking about the sideshow. So he didn't perform the way that Chris wanted him to perform.
He got ran.
But I already knew that it was gonna happen. But it was like the scenario was no joke. You know what I'm saying, right? What do you think about that scenario?
Man,
that second scenario.
It even spooked the shit out of me.
A lot of
I mean,
handlers.
that was a lot of that. You don't know what to expect. Just going into this front door and we get marked.
Yeah.
That just started it. Like, it's gonna be one of those days.
you gotta watch your back, yeah.
So when we walked in and I seen the tarp and I seen the decoy at the end, I'm thinking somebody's under the tarp too.
Yeah.
Not even thinking somebody's in back of me. And just for everything to go off at once, the horn.
It was a horn, and then
When you pulled up the tarp,
and then the tarp
With the jug.
shot up
With the jug.
with the jug in it, and then right behind the freaking Chris Sotelo just popped out like
Boxes flying.
even though we prepped, I've done some things with him, it was still a hell of a surprise.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. So for dogs that have not seen, and bro, Player P has had limited, I think, bite work stuff. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
You've done a lot of obedience stuff, and bite work has been kind of on the back burner because, first of all, like even us, we rarely link up to work the dog or do anything like that. You go and train whenever you got time, but he never seen anything like that. You know what I'm saying? His dog had already seen crazy, they do a lot of that type of stuff where they send them into the, the containers and all that, like loud noises, all that stuff. So it's just different. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but again, even in Canine Street League, going back to what you were saying, man, I think you can build dogs. At the end of the day, if a dog is a good dog, it's gonna show. And if a dog has a weak point, it's gonna show. And that's why I think like in sports sometimes like people get it twisted. It's just a sport dog. Yeah, it's just a sport dog, and you're right in a sense. Like if you're doing a sport and he's barely, but even when he's biting in that sport, you could see if it's a good dog or it's not a good dog. Whoever's the decoy is and everything, they know. Oh, this is a good dog, or you know what, this dog ain't. It's not good. You feel it. You feel the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then there are dogs too that may not be the greatest, but they'll do what their owner asks them to do,
Exactly.
regardless of what's in front of them.
Yep. Yep, and Shane's dog was a little bit like that. He had that you know, as Zeus, I believe he's Zeus, right? Is his name? Yeah. And he was just, I mean, he put him through all the scenarios, and the dog didn't really want to be there, but he was doing it because he was asking him to. He was like, and he kept going back in there, which to me shows a lot. You know what I'm saying, in the relationship and everything. For sure. But anyways, so yeah, I remember when you would come around, Chris would come pop in, bro, hit me up, and I'd be like, dude, I want to get this dude in my team. But then all of a sudden he'd show up, bro, and kind of like tease me, and he'd be gone. I'd be like, man, this was. I was like, he's an asshole, bro. He comes, he just asks, and then he leaves and shit, bro. He don't do, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't even know what convinced him one day, but I was like, hey, bro, what's up? You gonna come in? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna get in the team. So it was good. But anyways, so let's go back to Canine Street League, man. So. The obedience. I mean, what was the obedience was fairly. I think it's fairly easy, man. I mean,
entry level.
That's fairly easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see for a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
That was the entry level, and of course, it was pretty easy, like you said.
Yeah, and you know, and I think that's where like, you know, Chris had all that focus healing. You had focus healing, but he's a little more, you know, a little more amped up and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, both. I think it came down to handling, man. Like. Handling was huge.
Well, for me personally, I don't do too much. I don't do focus healing.
But he does focus on you.
But he does it. When I give him the word to focus heal, he'll do it. But really, I've never been taught that way to do a focus heal.
You never paid too much attention to it, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I never paid too much attention to it. Again, Malcolm always told us, don't worry about the focus heal. He's a street dog.
Yeah.
He needs to pay attention to what's around him. He needs to keep his eyes out. Whatever was the reason behind it, but
yeah, I mean that's a school you came up with,
right?
You know
that's what I came up with, and he does both. You know, I give him one word, he'll give me some focus heal. I give him another word, he just won't give it to me at all.
I love it, bro. I think dogs are a lot smarter than we think, and I don't understand why people believe that if a dog. I mean, I get it though. It's like it's the school you come up with and everything. You know what I'm saying? I get the behind of it, but I'm like a dog. I mean, like you said, I could tell him, look at me. Don't look at me. And he should know it's a dog. I mean, they're smart. You know what I'm saying?
Very smart. We just underestimate the fact that they're so smart.
Exactly.
You know how much they can actually take in and understand. Where a lot of new guys, new trainers, they kind of limit.
100%.
You know, instead of knowing. Of course, it comes from experience too. That you're gonna know these dogs are real smart. Mm-hmm. They know word from word of what you're speaking.
Body language, everything.
Everything. I can actually, you know, wink my eye or just give my facial expression. And this new dude knows when I'm happy or I'm not.
Bro, so when I first met Kenny, bro, first time I meet him, I see his dog in the back of his truck, and then he's got this leash on him. And when he called him, he like had a clip, right? Click, click. And the dog just comes to his side, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, that's dope. I was like, that's dope, bro. But shit, I'll bring out a leash right now, and I'll do it. And I'll be like, and I was like, hey, Kenny. Face that way, bro, and then let me bring out my leash and let me see if he comes to us, bro. And he wouldn't come, bro. Like I would do the leash and he wouldn't come, but then he would do it and he would come. So the dog knew the exact sound of his clip on the leash.
Yes.
And to me, that was like, yo, I need to do that with my next dog. I was like, that's dope. Yeah. I was like, he could be.
And that's another trick that I learned from Malcolm.
Yeah?
I learned that through Malcolm. You know, he never exposed it, but I caught on just from being around him so much. I'm like, why does this dude's dog keep coming? And I don't hear this dude. Is he walking away? What is it? Of course, I'm observing it. So when I heard that click, I clicked and I turned. The dog turned. I'm like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So then I called him on it one time and he just laughed. And that's what it told me. Oh, okay. He never told me how to do it. I just worked on it on my own.
That's dope.
And then one day I pulled up to the yard. I said, Malcolm, check this out. Click, click. My dog came to me. He started laughing again. He said, that's
bro,
right.
That is dope, though, man. Like, to me, that is like, I was like, yo, that is dope. And that's a smart dog. I was like, because he literally, I think one time he messed up when, like, I was really messing with him. And, like, but other than that, like, the dog knew when it was Kenny's leash and when it was my leash doing it.
And you still do that, right?
Yeah, I still do it to this day. And because it's the leash that I've had for probably 15 years. You know, you go through your gears.
Do with your keys as well, or is that?
No, it's just that one leash. And I could do it. I could grab another leash out of there, out of 10 leashes, and he won't do it.
Interesting.
But I grabbed that one certain one that I've had for so long, and he knows the sound of it.
That's awesome.
That's
yeah,
dope.
I remember seeing that too the first time I pulled.
So if I click it once, twice, he knows, cool, he's coming. If I start clicking more, he's coming for a bite.
Really?
Yeah, he knows. Okay, that's what Of course, we worked on it. Like when you start hearing me going click, 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 come for the bite.
That's so dope.
That's dope. I'm gonna do that with my next dog, bro. Watch me.
But it's cool because you could be out in the middle of nowhere or anywhere.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, because he leaves his crate open, the back of his truck. Yeah. Everybody walks by and the dog just chills right there.
Yeah, as long as you don't try to take his bag or nothing.
When you pulled into the sideshow, Rico was going nuts in the back of your truck.
Yeah, the crate was like freaking flipping.
And everybody was like, whoa, I'm scared of that dog this, that dog that. And I'm like, that's probably the most well-behaved dog I've ever seen in the back of somebody's truck. I wasn't even worried about him.
Yeah, man. You know what? That dude's a human, man. Like, that dude's, he's a human. Like, that connection, that bond we have, that love we have together. Again, I built him exactly like you were saying, that what you learned off of Oscar. I'm going to let this dog take me where he's going to take me, and I'm going to build off of that.
Yep.
Whatever he shows me, that's what I'm going to build off of, and I'm going to make it just that much better.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And I let him be him.
Well,
I let him be him.
That's dope. Let's talk about that a little bit, Chris, because, after experiencing what you did at the sideshow, you had to be feeling a certain kind of way. I know I would have been I was feeling a certain kind of way, and it's not even my dog. So, how did you feel after that happened when the dog, didn't engage when he was supposed to in the sideshow and you didn't make it past the second scenario? And then knowing that you're going to trial in 3 more days, I know part of you wanted to drop it right at first.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
So walk us through that a little bit.
So when we go in there and the tarp and everything went up, I was when you caught me on the back with the marker, that already threw me off. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna walk in here, someone gonna pop out from behind. Simple. So I'm looking behind me, and as I'm looking behind me, the tarp goes up, and I'm like, oh shoot. And the setup is like Call of Duty, so it's all these boxes everywhere, and you got people poking their heads out. I'm like, oh, my dog ain't ready for this. I already know he ain't ready for this. I thought
but you had him off leash or what? Or you let go of the leash?
I had him on leash. I think I let go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was shocked.
Yeah. You guys both got scared.
He got tangled up in his leash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't. So he didn't engage in the bite and ended up just pressure kept coming. He ended up running. So I ended up recalling him, and that's probably why he ended up coming back in the first place. Is I hit him on the e-collar to recall him. So after that, or whatever the second scenario, I remember leaving out and thinking the dog's got to go. I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad, but it was the fact that I've always thought in my head that he wouldn't, engage if the real pressure came.
In a real scenario.
I always thought of him as sporty. When I got him, I said, all right, I'm gonna do a bunch of obedience with him. He's gonna be my demo dog.
Yeah.
And if he learns how to bite, that's cool too. But that's just I want to make money, and this is gonna be my dog. I'm gonna show off. So when he ran, I guess, like I said, it was more of ego. I would say it was more of just the culture of thinking that when the dog runs, you're done. Even though that wasn't the purpose, I got the dog and built him for.
And we already we've talked years ago. Even years ago, you have mentioned. I mean, this dog's cool, but he's not what I want in a protection dog. Mm-hmm. I know because we've seen little things here and there, but he's gotten way better with more exposure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for it. So seeing it, I was like, I'm gonna get rid of him. I wanted to pull out of the competition. I was like, I'm not gonna have him run again. And then I went home and I kind of drained the bitch out of me. Yeah, it took a lot for me to sit down and be like, you know what? It's not the dog. You didn't prepare the dog for this. The dog's never seen this, and you've never even thought of something like this. So you're not even thinking on everyone else around you level. I went from backyard training to training with you and seeing you do crazy stuff. Now we're on a whole nother platform, and these people are doing stuff that I've never seen. So
I came up with that one, bro.
Yeah. So I thought you came up with that tarp part. So for me, it was just eye-opening. And I sat down and I said, either I'm going to tuck tail and run myself, or I'm going to man up and I'm going to grab my dog and we're going to come to the competition and we're going to show them something we never done before. I believe in them. And you always tell me, you got to believe in your dog, man. Why are you doubting? So I told myself, it's not the dog's fault, and I believe in him, and I've been training hard for this.
Yep.
Obedience-wise and, bite work here and there. But I was like, it's not going to happen again. I said, so what's going to happen if my dog gets ran and I come back the next day and I can win it all? Or I could even be in the top and just make sure I pass. And that's what drove me. Just you can hear it in my voice right now. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
that's just what drove me. So when it came time for competition, like when I stepped out on the field, I didn't care about what everybody else was doing. It was just fire in me. It's like, all right, my dog ran, and I know how it is. It's somebody's dog run, you're gonna go back, talk about it, or whatever. So I'm like, I know people are talking right now. So I was like, when I step on this field, I'm gonna act like I've been here before. I'm gonna walk with my head up. I'm gonna show some pride, and I'm not gonna pull the shit that I just did the other night. It's not the dog, it's you.
Yep.
It's one of those moments where you have to check yourself and you have to go, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? I can't blame it all on my dog at this point. It's something I didn't prepare him for. 100%. So this is on me. Once I got that into my head, by the time we stepped on the field, it was just confidence. It was like I said, I felt I was unstoppable.
Yep, and you can see it, man.
Everybody
the handling,
can see
you can see it in your handling and every. I mean,
Everybody can see
both of you though. I mean, both of you guys, like I was telling you guys earlier, like the handling was just to me. I mean, when I see Chris handle. I mean, I can't help but I think it was even better than me handling, but I can't help but see a little bit of myself in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like that's
right,
just because we train together and stuff. But and when I see you handling, I was like, damn, Kenny, he's confident. Like you could just see it, man. And I think both of you guys really stood out from everybody else in the competition. But yeah, man, I know I called you after the sideshow. I was like, look, bro, if you want to pull out, go for it, but. I know the dog will do good because you've already been training in those scenarios that you're gonna go through. It's like you putting a boxer in there with an MMA champion that's gonna be able to kick, jiu-jitsu, whatever, do everything. You know what I'm saying? And the boxer only has boxing. Is unfair. You know what I'm saying? That's just that. Or putting an MMA fighter and he could only do boxing. He's gonna get outboxed. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, because against a good boxer. So and when you don't prepare the dog the way that you need, and man, honestly, man, it's a good. For me, I appreciate when things like that happen to me because it's a good humble pie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'm glad that happened, and I'm glad it happened to you because now it turned you into a different handler.
Yes.
Every time somebody fails, bro. Last Canine Street League. I was for sure. I was like, "Yo, Kenny's gonna win this shit." I was up north. I was hyping. I was like, "Yo, we got this dog coming, bro. Rico, man, that dog a banger." And I was telling everybody, bro, what happened?
Got DQ'd on the simplest thing on the first scenario maybe or the second one, and I set the rest of the weekend out.
Yep.
And
it was like like he popped off because he thought you were correcting him or I don't know what it was.
He went for the bite. Got the bite. Of course, me, first time, in the trial, something at that magnitude, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't tell him his bite word. So when I went...
You didn't?
No, I didn't have to because I already knew he was going to go for the hit anyways.
Got it.
Of course, like I said, I was nervous myself. Thinking if I would have said something, I was trying to be perfect. If I would have said, I would have got points deducted, whatever, and I knew he was going to take off. I knew he was going to go for the bite, but at the same time, he still didn't hear that insurance of me saying, bite.
Yep.
So when I walked up to him, not only that, I think when I ran up to him, I kind of went a little too fast. He thought he was in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I grabbed his leash, he popped off and an emotion of kind of being spooked.
Yeah.
Like if he was in trouble.
Yep.
That's when I seen it, and then that's what DQ'd me.
Yep.
So it was the simplest thing,
And
I learned from it.
But what happened right after that? I remember when you got like, nah, bro, watch for the next one. You told me, you said,
I'm coming
watch on the
back.
next one. I'm coming.
I'm coming back.
I met you. That's when I met you. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I
but
met you
at
up
the
there.
show.
I met you up there.
It was right
met you
after
in
you
Bureau.
came over. We started chopping it up, talking about it.
Right.
And I remember you saying you were going to come back. And you were just like, fuck. Like, all right, I know what I did. Like, what I got to do
And
next
again, like
time.
what you were saying, it wasn't the dog's fault. It was my fault. I take full responsibilities for everything that he does that's not wrong, but what he's not supposed to be doing at the moment.
Well, shoot, you freaking lost. I mean, bro, that call. So, all right. So what happened in the trial was, I don't know the scores. First of all, it's like I wasn't going back to the board and going, oh, who has what? No, I just literally turned in the score after every scenario, and they're adding them up. And at the end, honestly, I thought I was like, because I took some points off of Chris here and there. I took some points off of Kenny. But I was like, I think Kenny's on top at least by a couple points. I mean, the dog looked, to me, he looked, but Chris's obedience was on point too, though.
Yeah, big time.
So at the end of the day, that when somebody said Kenny, Chris, and I think Larry. I was like, oh, I mean, that makes that to me. I was like, oh, they're like, nah, Chris and Kenny are tied. I was like, oh shit. It wasn't something that was planned. It was just like that's just what happened.
Yeah.
And so when they were like, it's a tiebreaker, I said, shit. That's dope. Let's do it. Let's run a tiebreaker.
Cool. I mean,
I was like, let's run the tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. Let's run it. So the tiebreaker was that they were gonna do the the picnic table bag snatch scenario combined. Kenny ran his dog first. Dog killed it in the stop attack. He kicked up dust. Everybody was going crazy.
Like 10 feet.
Everybody was going crazy, right? Everybody's like, dang. And I'm like, dang, that was dope. I was like, so we keep going through the scenario, and for the level 1 bag snatch, the decoy's kind of going around, and Rico was breaking, was kind of moving. Kenny, instead of just giving him another heel command or healing away the other way or doing something like that, he said what?
I said 9.
And it was like a clear 9. You're like 9. At that point, I had to, my bad, bro. I had to DQ.
Yeah, but
Kenny.
you gave us the rules before that.
I mean, we went through it all weekend about that, right?
Yeah.
And that is where Chris's dog didn't do the stop attack. He bit.
Right.
So that's a -5 right off the bat. So that would have just put you at top. If you would have just not said that, you would have won it. But and that's what it comes down to, though. It wasn't the dog, it was the handling. Like the handling could have changed that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His dog stayed in obedience in the back snatch. He did it, and so that's the only thing that really separated both of you guys, that you got DQ'd.
When I seen that dude, when I caught him, when I told him it's down, and he kicked up that dust, and I looked at you, and you smiled. You were laughing. You were just smiling. I said, "Okay, cool. I'm not DQ'd.
Nah, that was dope, bro.
Line. I passed this part right now, so let's keep going."
Yeah, that was dope, man. I think that was one of the highlights. You know what I'm saying?
And then you hear the crowd. So
Yeah.
the
The crowd went
felt
nuts.
better.
Yeah, bro. So it was dope, man. But then you messed up and you got DQ'd. Now you guys would have been close, obviously.
Right,
You guys were close the whole thing, even though he didn't do the stop attack. But I mean that's what that whole scenario is about.
Right.
But the rules are you're gonna get a point deduction in the 1s. In the 2s, you would get DQ'd if the dog bites. That's it. You're done.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. The verbal corrections on the field, that's the same whether you're EL level 1, level 2, level 3. That will always be
Which is
DQ.
good. That's good to have.
If we were to
That keeps the
DQ,
trainers on check too.
if we were to DQ every dog that bit when they weren't supposed to, it would have been over.
We would have had no
would've been
dogs.
Right, of course.
I think Sykes is probably
is
the only one that
he did
stopped.
He did a little love tap on the decoy,
but he didn't
bite.
Yeah.
That would have been the end of it.
Yeah, and man, it's like, and it's tough, man. Like in my position, bro, it's tough, especially because Chris is in my team, and so automatically that already, people are, oh no, he's hooking him up, he's hooking, bro. Honestly, I had to like take off points in some places because I was like, yo, like on both of you guys, like, yo, this shit looks good. Like I need to take off at least a point somewhere. And from Chris, his healing, he was always on. Like the thing is, if the dog separates or there's tension on the leash, you get a point deduction. Well, his dog was focus healing the whole damn trial, so I couldn't take points for that. So that's where it was tough. I think he lost a couple points because he ran in on one. I had to stop him, so he lost points there. So at the end, it was like, man, it was just right there, man.
And when I seen Chris a couple weeks ago, I wasn't sure what dog he was coming in with. For some reason, I thought he had a pit bull.
Yeah.
So when he bust out with the Mally, and I seen him going to attention hill, and he started here, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. This is what I'm going against.
Yeah.
All right, then, that's where I seen it.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I don't even need to see the bite work.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the bite work is on point too, especially coming from elevator. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's just not, going to perform, and so I already knew what I had coming. And then again,
you knew that was gonna be it. Like, that was gonna be the one.
Yeah. I didn't think the little pit bull was gonna be one of them too.
Oh yeah, with Larry. But man, here's the thing, and people don't understand. Like Larry was Exxon and Mike were right behind Larry, and only by a couple points.
3 points.
3 points, right? It came down to handling. I mean, that's what it came down to. Yeah. Larry is a seasoned competitor, so she's when I talk about like she was like practicing the patterns, the rules, and everything. Like she was practicing. So where she would lose a couple points in bite work, she would gain them in the obedience part, and that's what people don't understand. People just see one thing; they don't see the full picture. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like as a judge, it's like I'm just judging. I'm going by how we go, and at the end, it's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when the points started happening, I think I went first. I got a 98, and then of course Larry went. She got scored higher, and then I seen his score. He got a 99 or something.
No, we had a 98 on the first.
98. And then the second one, I think I got another 98.
Yeah.
Same.
And then you got a 99.
99.
I was like, oh, he got me. I said, okay, so we're going to see what, of course, like everything else, when the bite work happens, Rico usually separates the boys from the men's right there.
Yeah.
That's where we usually get pretty lucky. And then he got 100. I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, which one?
Oh, wow.
On the bite.
The carjacking, too.
I think everybody, so the carjacking in the EL is very simple. It's like your dog's either going to bite or he's not going to bite.
Right.
And you're going to lose points on the out if you lose any points. And both of you guys, so like I gave a lot of dogs 100 on the carjacking if they outed on time. Like there was nothing to take away right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for the carjacking, a lot of people got 100. The dogs that did it mostly got 100. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was, bro.
It was a shootout, man. It was just our points were there neck to neck.
Yeah.
When you guys said it was a draw and we got to go to now, it was more excitement.
Yeah, it was dope.
Actually,
man.
after that day, we even went to my house and trained that night till like midnight.
Oh yeah,
I said, hell with that, man. I got to get some
He was up late too training. The hype was dope.
And you went to go train too?
Yeah,
You went to Yasin or what?
Yasin.
Yeah.
You see, I was thinking around like, nah, he's training too. Hell no, I'm not gonna let him get into me now.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna get my training in. I didn't even know he was training.
Yeah.
I was just thinking he was training.
Same.
You should already know. Yeah, I already know. I already knew both of you guys were training. I was like, dang. I was
so
like,
we went at it. So
yeah, and it was dope, man. I mean, just the excitement of the crowd, bro. That was a lot of people that were right there
Everyone
up against
stood
that
up right
fence,
against
bro.
the fence.
Everybody,
I mean, when I see the crowd come, I was like, oh shit, game is on,
bro. And you just hear it when you say 9, and I step in, bro. Everybody's like, oh, it just took the air out of everybody.
Yeah, and I see,
and Chris is over there, probably like,
I can hear the crowd cheering in the back, so I'm like, oh, he killed it. I was like, I got to come with it. I didn't know for a while.
Well, because when it was dog up, I passed Chris, and I'm like, oh, he's not looking at me. Good move, because if he would have went first, I wasn't gonna look at him because I didn't want that in my mind.
yeah,
I'm not worried about how he's doing. I just wanted to get mine through.
Yeah.
And just do what he does and let him be him and be me. Because if I would have seen his performance, I would have been probably a little bit nervous, a little bit. Of course. I just like I gotta.
bro.
top
Even
this
your
right here.
your courage test, your face attack. Man,
that was
that
was
boy.
nice one, too.
He speeds up like the last 3 meters. It was like he was going.
Yeah, because he knows he's not gonna get a call back. He's not gonna get a call off. When he was younger, I had a problem with him. He would take off and literally 5 yards, 10, 6, 7. He would just go airborne. So we just started skeeving him more. So now he's committed closer.
You didn't like that.
I liked it, but he was missing his bite. It was easy for him to get skeeved that
Got
fast. So we started shortening that distance and giving him the pointer. His target, and he's just gotten better and better and better. So then, of course, he's good on his call off, but then again, like you said, when he gets that certain distance, he just picks it up.
Yeah, that was dope.
So I seen it. And I know when he picks it up, when he's more confident, he's like, I'm not getting called back. Boom, he just picks it up, and his entry was perfect.
That's dope, man.
I mean, when I seen that entry style, like, oh, I just felt. Of course, we can't show the emotion, but man, I'm smiling inside.
Yeah,
I'm like, heck yeah, he's on
dope.
it. And then not only that, what was awesome about him is his downs were good.
Yeah, and that was another smart thing, man. Like downing him, and his downs were like, you just see him like drop. And that was pretty dope to see too.
So that was man. Believe it or not, that dude was perforing perfectly that day.
Yeah, bro.
He was
letting
him be
Everybody
him.
knows it.
He was on fire.
But that
bro.
bite was ultimate. That face attack, that was, and this is his out.
Yeah,
he was just responding very good.
You could just tell he was on it.
He was having his day. I was just letting him be him.
Yep. I can't wait to see you guys in the ones, man.
Shout out to the decoy team.
Yeah. Shout out to
Caught
the
'em.
decoys, big time. All of them, even the ones that caught Rico. I mean, they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, man. What's up with you, Chris? How were you feeling, man, when you were in there?
For the last scenario,
Yeah.
in my heart, I knew my dog was gonna down when I said down. I knew every inch of me. I was like, oh, he's gonna down. I'm gonna kill it. Like I said, I had confidence. It was just like, I'm gonna win.
That fool
Like,
flew into that bite, bro.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite of what it was supposed to be. I never.
But you guys didn't get to prep that much on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you, the way you train, I know you guys do call offs and everything, but I know the day before I was like, man, if player Pete calls off, I'm gonna be surprised, because I was like, Chris don't really do that much training. You know, I don't know what he does at Friday Night Bites, but I know he don't have decoys that could help him out so much.
And I thought his call off was gonna be like the shit.
Yeah.
I was like, of course, I'd never really seen his dog work,
Yeah.
and I didn't know he had that Mally until that day. And then I'm like, he had to have a good call off. That's why I'm going to training tonight.
yeah, but the thing is, it's not a call off. Like if he would have said heel,
oh, he's coming.
he's coming back.
Gotcha.
But the exercises,
call off down.
you got to down your dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and
right.
that is where it's like, it was, that's when Rico was like, whoosh, kicked
Hey
up
man,
that
Rico,
dog. Bro, hey, we're gonna put a clip of that for all you guys to see. That was dope.
Yeah, you know what? That call off right there, that was 1 in a million. He did.
Yeah, and then you just lost another point because you gave him a second command to down again.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Because if not, he was going to come back to me. And just working it, he's used to his call off back to me.
Yeah,
Never a down right there where I tell him to down at.
yeah.
So the night of
And you guys learned about that exercise the day after the trial, after
Right.
the EL. So you had to go and practice that.
Right. So then that night, like I said, when we were going to go practice it, I left him off on a good note. But prior to that, he was not doing it. He wasn't. He wasn't. I never painted that picture to him as far as downing right there where I tell you to. It was always a recall back to me.
Yeah,
And I just didn't want to mess him up. I just didn't want him to anticipate the call off and take a few steps and then look back at me like, no, you
Right.
can call me off right now. So I gave him a few bites that night, and I said, that's it. Leave him off on a good note. He knows when to go. I already see that when I call him off and I tell him down, he's going to respond. I just didn't think he was going to respond that way.
That was dope.
I thought he was just going to kind of just go around them and just down. But no, that dude just...
yeah, that was dope. That was
dope
sick.
for him.
Yeah,
Mine was opposite.
Yeah.
I didn't want to correct him too much and put and down him, because when we went back and trained it, when I would say down, if I yelled it again, he would come run back into a hill.
Got it.
So for me, it was like, all right, do I really want to mess the dog up right now, correcting him or
Yeah.
just drilling downs?
and this is where trialing, I think, where like for me at least, where I would like if I would have seen your dog like anticipating the call off, personally, I would have said, let's leave him right there.
Right.
Like if he's anticipating, that's good. Because the next day you don't have the same corrections. You don't have, less pressure on him like
Right,
that you've been putting like the day before. It's like in French training or whatever. You got a dog that comes out early on the object guard when he's guarding the object. You leave him the day prior of going in. You leave him almost not even wanting to bite, and then the next day he's biting at the distance because you kind of brought it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha, right.
And that's where, and I learned this from years of seeing like different trainers work competition dogs, and seeing how some dogs aren't even biting. In my head, I'm like, yo, this dog's not gonna bite tomorrow. This decoy ruined this dog. And then the next day, the dog just does it flawlessly, and you're like, wow, that dude knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That trainer knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so if it would have been me watching, I would have been like, if he's anticipating, let's leave him there because he likes to bite. That means he's gonna,
Yes,
but whatever you did, bro, it worked. I mean, it was,
We
that was.
I left him on a good note. And then of course I had a room for him for his AC. And then I said, let's give me one more bite in the room. You know what I mean? Just to
You gave him another one?
Yeah,
Right
give him
there?
another bite just to keep it there. I said, okay, he's ready. You know your
bro,
dog.
you gotta play, and that's for me, that's the exciting part about trialing, man. It's like when you figure out your pre-trial routine, like when you get in that zone. Like at least for me, the competitions that I won, it was like I was in that zone. I was like, yo, I'm gonna win this shit. Like, and it was after failing though. It was always it was like for me, it happened after failing. I was like, yo, that shit was. I was like, I'm gonna go there and kill it. And I came in with the same attitude. Even like we went to a national, me and Christian, And I remember that morning, bro, I got up right there. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, I already won this shit. Like, and even though, I was going against some like top, like world level, national level competitors. And I was like, man, I'm gonna win this shit. Like I'm a place at the top. And I just felt it. You know what I mean? And you got to get in that zone when you're competing. But for me, that's the fun part about it, man.
Yeah. You know what? In this street, Canine Street League 1, it put me in that zone. The first one, I wasn't in that zone.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like the feeling of losing.
Nah, bro.
I didn't like that feeling. And I'm always a winner, go getter. And then I did the NADF, again, about a month or so more prior to this street league. That got me much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Confident. Oh, this is how you're supposed to feel.
Yep.
And then I said, okay, you know what? I'm killing this street league.
Yep.
I got a point to prove.
Yeah, that was dope, man.
And
Chris signed up for a PSA trial this coming weekend.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
I hit him up the next day.
Chris is all he called me. Hey, I'm gonna enter that trial. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
I hit him up the next day. He goes, hey, I'm trialing this weekend. I was like, PSA? He goes, yep. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's it, man.
Gotta keep the momentum.
Bro, I've been on this guy about trialing for like at least the last 2 years probably, bro. I'll be like, bro, go trial, man. Go, because for me, that is where you test your training. That is what motivates you.
Right.
For me to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, there's no other like motivation like not doing well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like that's why I was like, bro, I want you to go, even if you're not ready, bro, go. Just so you can fail, so you could change the way you're gonna act after that.
Yes.
And
like you said too. Every time you failed, it just motivated you more.
Yeah.
It takes you to that next level of when you lose. Just like when your dog runs or whatever, it takes you to that next level. Your dog wins, it takes that dog to the next level. The sideshow, it took my dog to another level.
Bro, that was crazy.
It took me to another level.
So let's talk right now, because people are like, "What is a sideshow, man?" So I'm gonna go through the scenarios real quick. You already know them, but just so the people that are out there, scenario number 1, you park. So everybody's parked on one side of the building, and one by like whoever's gonna be competing, they drive their car to the front. They park. They break their dog. They have a little interview with Roel. He got some video of them, and then they're walking in. When they're walking in, I creep up from the back. If I mark them with the marker, they didn't get that scenario. They're done. Rico would have won that one.
Yeah, but we didn't know it started outside. But you did tell us though.
You should.
You did tell us.
Yeah.
That, it starts as soon as
you
break
park
your
right
dog.
there. You break your dog. That's when.
But I didn't think like outside right there. I'm thinking the door is just right there. It's gonna start right there.
Yeah.
We're getting the damn interview. How quick is it gonna start?
Yeah.
So just to paint a picture, they pull up in their car. We tell them park between the 2 white vans. When they get out of the car, we tell them again, don't go past the 2 white vans.
True.
So that alone should have told people, hey, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, bro. I would have walked into that building backwards, bro. I would have been like, nah, we're walking backwards into that building when this dude.
And all of us got the X. Yeah. Nobody really expected.
The only one that didn't get it, was Zach.
He had one.
With Reggie. He got one. He got one. And as I was marking him, he's turned around and sent his dog.
Gotcha.
But I think the only reason that happened is because of how fast he was moving.
He was moving fast, so I had to run behind him.
So you could hear his footsteps.
Gotcha.
Everybody else probably thought it was me behind them.
Yeah.
Because I was just giving them an interview. I gave them a false sense of security. Gave them the interview.
That put you on your toes.
All right.
Though.
Second scenario, they walk in, there's an X about 10 feet going into the building. There's an X. They're supposed to stand there. About 10, 15 feet in front of that, there's a tarp on the ground. And then there's people and decoy out at a distance.
Right.
Andrea is behind the door where you came in through, and Sotelo is hiding right behind some boxes.
Correct.
At that point, Andrea goes, begin exercise, and we had this air horn.
Raise your hand when you're ready.
Raise your hand when you're ready. All the handlers raise their hand, and we have this loud ass air horn.
Yeah, but once you raise your hand,
so it's like
that shit happens.
It was like raise your hand, burp, and then the freaking tarp shoots up, and then Chris Sotelo just comes out running from behind. And that boy was adding some pressure.
But you got the horn. You got the tarp that's making this noise and coming
jug.
up. You got the jugs. You got his yelling.
Yeah.
Like everything all at once.
Hey, but that reaction of Rico is exactly what I want to see in my dog. Like that's how I hope Wapo would react. I haven't even tested him. I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
But that tail, like he saw that thing shoot up, and you see his tail just like at first he was like his tail was like a little low. As soon as that thing shot up, he just like
boom. He woke up.
That was it.
Alert.
All right, he bit out of the dog, and then they got to walk into the next X, which is like 30 feet to the left. And then Mike is upstairs, and he's like calling the dog upstairs into a room. And the handler's supposed to send the dog up there.
Up the stairs
Into the room to bite Mike. Mike is in there hanging out with a bite sleeve, like a Schutzen sleeve.
Right.
The goal of that was to get the dog to bite the sleeve, leash him up, put a leash on him, and walk him back to the handler. If you walks him back to the handler with the sleeve in his mouth, you lose the whole exercise. A lot of dogs didn't. They were just into the sleeve. They come back all happy. Mm-hmm. And these are scenarios that nobody knew about. So it's tough, man. Like that's not an easy one. Wapo for sure would have felt that one because he's a sleeve. I mean, he's a Schutzen dog. He's been on a sleeve. He don't. You know, I never done anything like that with him. Yours, what did he? You
know what? We came to the bottom of the steps. Mike, like you're saying.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Mike was at the top of the steps. Rico looked up, seen him, went to the bottom of the steps. Andrea says, "When you're ready, raise your hand, send your dog up." Mike goes into the room. Again, scenarios for them to see him, bite, whatever it is.
We wanted him to see him so he could know that something's in there, not want to come back out.
And Rico, he's not a sleeve guy. He'll bite a sleeve and just spit it right back out and just get you whether you have a suit on or not.
Yeah.
That's just how he is. He's bit many people already.
Yeah.
You know, you have that, you better keep that sleeve and don't drop it because he's not going to keep it in his mouth. He's going to spit it out, re-engage, and hit. I sent the dude upstairs. He goes in the room, comes right back out. In the hunt, you can see it in his face, like, where's he at? Looking around. Tail going, ears up, eyes glowing. I direct him to with my right hand, go back in. He goes back in, a couple seconds, whatever, comes back out, looks on the wall, because I think maybe that's where he's seen Mike at last. He looks down. I'm like, I told him, no, 9. In, meaning to go back into the room. That dude just jumps on the wall, looks down, and just goes airborne.
He jumped off the second story, bro.
Jumped off.
And that was high.
Man, when he jumped off, I'm like, what the heck? And I just hear, of course, on the side of the stairs, we can't see because there's boxes already, all right there. So I couldn't see him where he landed. And he yelped. And I heard him hit the concrete. So I said, oh, shit, man, my dog is broke. His legs are broken. He's done.
Yeah.
Why did I do this for? I should have known. I should have waited for Saturday and Sunday to trial him.
Yep.
That everything, it's like everything's going through your mind at once. Everything's coming through. I'm like, I hit the corner and I see him coming out with a little limp. Ears are up. I heel him back to me and he puts his leg down. He doesn't, he's not trying to stay off of it. And I walk him around. By this time, Andrea's kind of freaking out. Like, she's like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
He flew off. He's calling Mike and Mike's like, what do you mean flew off of where? He jumped over where?
Yeah, that
jumped
was crazy.
Over the wall. What do you mean? Over here and down? Like, yeah. I stretched his leg out. I didn't see nothing. I felt him. He didn't cry. He didn't, try to move his leg. And
continue to the next exercise.
You know what? Let's keep going. I sent him right back up the stairs again.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he went right back up the stairs, did his thing.
Bro, you crazy.
I had to leave him on that good note. I couldn't leave him on that bad note. He was good. I said, and Michael, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Are you sure? I'm like, he's ready to go. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I said, we'll deal with this after. Rico shows no emotion. He don't show no weakness. Shot up those stairs.
Yep.
Went back, did it. Mike came out with him, cool, put him off, and continued on.
Yep. So that was crazy. Next scenario. There's a decoy at a distance. You send your dog. At that point, Jock came out from the side and came and attacked you. You're supposed to call off your dog. He's supposed to come back and bite Jock.
Right.
I'm sure he bit the dude over there, right?
No, he didn't.
You called him off?
He was a call off. Before he even got there, he didn't even get the bite.
You called him off and he came.
I caught him right when the guy popped out on me. Once I tell Rico Rezik, he already knows there's somebody here on me.
Yeah.
There's somebody here on me, and he hates when somebody touches me.
Yeah.
He hates that dude just spun around and shot back.
Got Jock.
I don't remember if he actually bit or not. I remember he shot around and just came back, because I did see, because of the floors, of course.
Yeah.
I did see his back leg go skirt, like kind of squirt, and then shot right back, and
he got Josh.
he got Josh.
Yeah,
that was a good one too. So he performed good on that one.
Yeah, man. And then the last one, you send him into the container. He's seen that a bunch of times.
Yeah, he's seen that a bunch of times. Of course, he didn't go up the steps, the ramp. He went to the left, went to the right, but didn't go, towards the kennel. I mean, the container on the side. He just kind of like licked on both ends.
Yep.
I told him in. Boom, he already know. Shoot straight in there. Of course, he's seen that picture many times. He's seen the smoke. He's seen the dark, so he knows to bite in the dark too.
Right.
Finished that good. Shit, we walked up.
That was
happy.
it.
Yeah, we
that was
had
dope.
our tails up going, so we were happy.
That's dope, man. Yeah, so that's the sideshow for you guys, man.
That was a lot of fun. That right there, that took my dog to another level too.
Yeah.
That took him to that tarp. If you came up with that one, that was a hell of a one.
That was the hardest one for sure.
Yeah, that was dope. And it was the first one.
It was the first one.
And that's why.
And just so, Chris's dog isn't the only dog that got ran.
Nah, there was a lot of dogs.
There were
a lot of dogs that did not want to engage
and
at
for
all.
those of you who are asking which dogs got ran, if you had brought your dog and showed up, you would know.
Yeah.
Plain and
we're not gonna post video. No. We're not gonna do any of that, because at the end, and you know what? It takes a lot for Chris to be out here and be like, yeah, it happens, bro. It is what it is.
I mean, going into that, I thought maybe there's a possibility that my dog would get ran. How are you gonna know unless you put him into that position? Even though even though you train for these things, this is real life. You're training, and they might see some stuff, but you're training, and it's gonna be as live as it can.
Yep.
And of course these are new decoys.
Yeah,
they're gonna put this pressure on this dog. They're
we instructed them to run the dog.
Right.
It was like,
they're gonna try
run
to break
the
this
dog.
Dude. And that's and I didn't know that going into it, but I kind of thought, okay, messing with Elevated and them, they're gonna do some shit.
Yeah, I was like, run the dog. It wasn't just me. It was like
it wasn't gonna be
decoys,
easy,
bro. It was like the decoys, like we're gonna, but a lot of people hit me up that they wanted to enter, and part of me was like. Some of them I was like, bro, nah, you don't want to enter, bro. I was like, it's like somebody hit me with a Showline Shepherd that they wanted to enter, and I see the videos of the dog doing by. I'm like, nah, bro. I was like, you don't do it, man. I was like, I don't like, no. So I was like picky about who. Roosevelt was like, yo, I'm in, but I know that Roosevelt, like, they do that type of training and stuff. So I was like, it could be good. I know for a fact, I think Mongo would have not had a problem with it. He didn't put him in though. He put another dog in. And then who else was in? I mean, there was a bunch of dogs,
Even
man.
Kevin's dog would have did good in it. Kiwi or Mango, one of them.
Yeah.
But then again, I didn't sign up until actually the night before also.
Yeah.
Rose said, I told Rose, it's too late. Like, nah, call him. I'm going to call him right now. And when you said, yeah, I'm like, oh, shit, I was hoping he'd say no.
Yeah. They took some dogs that were like from like retired military dogs or police dogs. Bro, they didn't do well. And again, some dogs are used to just the same thing over and over and over again, and this was different, man. Yep. This was completely different, but it's dope because it gives you a sense of like, yo, this is what we're gonna train for. I hope that now you see it and you go, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna build on that. Yes. Literally, that building's available to us, so there's no reason why we shouldn't go back over there. It made me look at things different and go, I need to focus. And I did a lot of crazy stuff with WAPO, so. Like I did that. I've done that test with WAPO. Like, I set things up. But even like back in the day, and I don't know if you remember in Ontario, one of the first times you came out with me, I was like, hey, bro, I want you to just come out of nowhere. And I'm just going to be walking in the curb. I want you to come out of nowhere and just attack WAPO back in
outside the trash can.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. And he was my sport dog. But I changed. Like it was a hidden sleeve. He'd never seen a hidden sleeve. I was like, I want to see what he does. We're gonna do a hidden sleeve on him, and let's see. Like he never seen it. We'll see if he bites. He didn't have but that's to me as a trainer, like you want to do this type of stuff. Like now, I'm like, we got this new set of puppies, man, that we just brought in. I'm like, yo, we're gonna be doing crazy stuff. I look at like NVBK, type of bite work and stuff, scenarios where they send them through, different things. Like, bro, I love that stuff. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this new batch of puppies that we got.
And that's what I like. I like what you like too, and I put in Rico since he was a pup through so much different stuff, but I've always took my steps.
Right.
You know, I've always known how much to put on him and when.
And that is what people don't realize. You know what I'm saying?
And I let him win.
Yeah,
That's
but people don't know. And I've been there before. That's why I'm saying that. I remember my dog Brusco was a year old, and this dude, my buddy Raymond, bro, fast decoy French. I was like, bro, put it on him, bro. I was like, you ain't gonna do nothing against my dog. Put it on him, bro. I had to tell him to stop, bro. I was yelling from the stop, bro. My dog was not biting him. That was my ego, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's good because as you get older, you see it. You're like, man, it's like. Now I'm gonna build a monster. I'm gonna do it, in a way where, step by step. We're gonna show them different things. I'm gonna put them on inexperienced decoys because inexperienced decoys move different. Yep. Right. They don't move the same as your normal decoy. Right. I'm gonna put them on girls that never, I'm gonna do all that. But I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it in a way where my dog succeeds. Right. And people out there, when you guys are coming up, we all want that beast of a dog. Make sure you groom them into what you want them to become.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I did exactly what you just said right now. I introduced them to everybody, but before, it's not, hey, put the suit on, take a bite. No, I'm going to walk you through this.
Yep.
I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm trying to build my dog.
Yep.
That's a decoy's job.
100%.
Decoy's job is one or two things. He's there to make your dog or break your dog.
Yep.
Especially coming up.
100%.
So if you're a cool decoy and I see how you work. Look, help me with this. I'm gonna walk you through it, and just give them an easy one.
Yep.
And then we're gonna build from there.
And I feel like obedience, like if you becoming a good obedience trainer, like bro, your dog's on point. It gives you a different eye of what to look for in bite work, like how to build things. You know what I'm saying? Because you're building something. Right. And when you're not that good, you're just like, you don't have that eye for detail. That's where I think. For me, that's where I see people mostly mess up their dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's true.
But it just comes with experience. Like, what are you gonna change now? Going what Player P went through. What's gonna be the next step to build him up?
A lot of surprise stuff. I would say a lot of tiebacks. Like I'm gonna tie him out, show him different pictures of people coming out of the boxes and with the jugs, and just stand there and just agitate for a little bit, but not too close, and then come in and teach them how to bite in defense. Everything was like how to build your dog, how to do protection without a decoy. So the dog bites on a tug, or you teach the dog to focus on a ball. So now it's going to be like more of or less prey bites and a little bit more tapping into his defense to bring out the confidence, and then just praising him more. So allowing him to fight before he gets on the bite, not just giving him the bite and making him fight through like once he's on the bite, but actually making him fight for the bite. Like you have to miss and someone's going to put a little bit of pressure on you. Then we're going to let you win and get the bite just to build you up. And then from there, add in little by little pressure. I'm also going to take him out around more people and more trainers. Because like you said, people move different. People, they have different attacks, and that builds the dog the most. So preparing for this, I think he's seen the most in the last 2 weeks. He's seen the most decoys than he's probably ever seen.
100%.
He's probably seen like 8 different decoys.
100%.
And just the confidence that he had within those 2 weeks just changed my mind. Like, okay, it's not that he can't do it; it's that I haven't tapped into it because I didn't believe he could do it.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna believe in him more, trust the process, and show him the different pictures. I've had dogs that see something 1 time, 2 times, and they know what it is, and you don't have to train them anymore. And then from the line that I got him from, I feel like you have to show them 40 times before they get it. But those type of dogs, after you show them those 40 times, they excel more than or faster than the dogs that learn it quicker.
Right.
So just learning what dog I have and like being able to see what's in front of me, and then now just taking it to the next level, because I personally believe I'll be able to outthink the decoys. I think now that I see what they brought, and I don't want to feel that again, like you said, it's gonna be game on. Like we're gonna go next level. We're gonna be coming up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah, man, and I think you gotta challenge yourself. You gotta think like I this scenario that I did, bro. I thought about that years ago, and I've done it on other dogs, bro. That's just because you gotta think like, man, what's something
Out of
and
the box.
where I first got this from was from they do a test called the Kerrang in Europe, and it's like a breed suitability test. And they do something like that, but without the bite. But they have like this thing that they just shoot up. It's like like a big old, like a wall made out of mesh or something that just like shoots up. And if the dog runs, like they fell right there. Wow. But if he goes back, but then he investigates, then it's cool. But where it came from was when Wapo was young, bro. I took him to what's that outdoor store over there? Bass Pro. I took him to Bass Pro, and there was a hog there, bro, like a dissected, those standing up.
Oh yeah.
And that fool Wapo saw this thing, and he was just like, he was young, but he like his hackles came up, and he was like, like all weird, right? And I was like, yo, that right there, like if you could get a dog to act like that and then run at him with something, I was like, this is game over. Like there's no way that, because he's doubting himself already because he don't know what this is.
Right.
So to me, it's like, how can I get the dog to doubt himself first and then attack? That's how you really test the dog.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, like the next one, like bro, a boogeyman. It could be like, it could be somebody just laying there in the dark, and you just back tie your dog, and then all of a sudden this thing starts moving. It doesn't look human. How is your dog going to react to that? Is he going to go forward, or is he going to go, oh shit, I've never seen that before? And then you attack. You know what I'm saying? So like that is how you really teach a dog, like build him up. You know what I'm saying?
It's about building. You got to know how to
free
build.
game right there.
So and so to me, I mean, and I can't wait for my next one, bro. I'm just like I'm like I can't wait for my next one because I already like Wapo's at the end of the I can't wait to build up my next dog because I'm gonna be showing him everything, bro.
Yeah, and that's how I feel too. I did that with Rick. I said, this dude right here, I'm gonna show him everything. I'm gonna paint every picture perfectly, and I did, and he turned out great. And my next one, same thing like you. People say, what better can you get? People that see him all the time and see him work. There's always better.
There's always better, man.
There's always better. That's what I see.
Yep. Cool, man. Well, Chris, what's next for you, bro?
PDC. After PDC, maybe a little bit of French ring. I kind of want to enter into everything I can. I already lost the fear of failing, so for me, it's like once you get that, I'm like, all right, the dog ran. I was like, chances of him running again could be low, could be high. I'm gonna do it anyway.
See what happens.
Yeah, but for me, it was like it was just dope because it's like it's a real underdog story to me. It's like being so low and feeling a certain way, and then 2 days later coming back and just fucking killing it and showing out and having that confidence. So for me, it's kind of like fighting. It feels like you're walking into a ring. You're back there, it's you and your dog. You're hyping them up. You come out there and just that confidence from the second you hit that start line, the confidence is just different. Like your focus is just different. You literally feel unstoppable. Your hands are shaking. You feel your heart beating. Man,
I'm addicted to that feeling, bro.
That's how I feel. I've never felt anything that made me feel like fighting and going in there. I just was just the confidence it brings and the adrenaline rush is just like addicting. So now I just want everything. I want to do everything. Like I said, if I'm going to build him the right way, he's going to have to see multiple decoys and he's going to have to see multiple shows like that. And the only way to get out there and be known is to do it.
That's it.
Forget the fear and do it.
How old's Player P?
He's 3 years, 7 months.
Yeah.
Good.
Kenny, what you got next, bro?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna be doing another puppy pretty soon.
That's
right
dope.
now, I'm gonna go for the one in the street league.
Yep.
Once we do that, he's already going. Like I say, he's already going to 5. He's still got some in him though, a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for a puppy. I'm ready. I love that. I love building that little puppy.
Yeah.
It's just I know once like you just said earlier, you see a lot of things as you're building. You see the weaknesses, you see this, you see that, and you build off of it, or you make stronger.
Yep.
So experience, of course. I got a puppy that I'm gonna do it in.
Is it gonna be out of Rico, the puppy?
No, not yet. Oh. No, I don't know who it's gonna be out of. But I know my future with him. I know what I want to do.
That's dope.
Same thing with Rico. I know, and same thing with the next puppy. I know what I want to do, and I'm gonna build it slowly. Not too slowly, but I'm gonna build it slowly. I'm gonna work off what he's showing me and go from there.
Cool, man.
And just add on to it. I'm gonna go full force with it now. Like I say, I got the feeling of competing.
Yeah.
I'm coming for more competition.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna see Chris in the one.
Yeah, bro.
I see him in the one. We probably have a shootout. You know what I mean? But this time I'm coming. My gun's not gonna be in the holster.
Damn, bro.
You know what I mean? I locked and loaded. So
work on that down because mine gonna be better, brother.
Well, I got things in store too. Still.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But no, for me, man, I love it. I do it for the fun of it. I just, I know once I get my gun, I'm gonna be in the holster. You know what I mean? But this time I'm coming. My gun's not gonna be in the holster. You know what I mean? I locked and loaded. So
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I got things in store too. But no, for me, man, I love it. I do it for the fun of it. I I owe this to Rico. That's how I see it. I owe it to this guy.
Yep.
You know, as much as he's done, as much as he's my buddy. I take him everywhere and anywhere with me. He's not just a dog I leave at home. He's my buddy. He's with me all the time. He's on vacations with me. He's my buddy. He's my son. That's how I wanted to build him. That's what
dope.
Malcolm told me. You want a bad dog? Not the best dog, because there's a lot of good dogs out there. You want a bad dog? Make him your buddy. Take him everywhere with you. And I took that advice, and I seen it in this.
Yeah.
I said, okay, now my next one, this dude's going to shower with me with everything. He's going to do everything with me.
That's cool, man. I
Just
like
to
that.
build that bond.
I want to do that too.
You know, and that's what they work for you for.
Yeah.
That's how they work for you. You build that bond, and that's it. Rico would jump off a damn staircase for me. He proved it to me.
For sure. Man, well, hey, man, this was dope. It went by quick, man. We're at what, 115?
Hold up. What about you, Oscar? You just competed too, didn't you?
I mean, I finally finished my PSA 1, you know.
Oh, that was,
With the I felt like I owed it to my dog, like you
Right,
said, you know,
exactly.
like we had one leg and but you know, I see him, he's not the same dog anymore. He's 7. And you know, he's got that breathing issue. And so you know, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, you know. It's almost like he can't really breathe. So I was going to do the PSA 2 this weekend at regionals, but I don't think it's worth me risking my boy. I brought him out of, you know, I was already going to retire him, but this trial came up and Julie, one of our trainers, you know, she volunteered to take him out there if I just flew in and competed him. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get that. But I saw it in him. Like I saw that when he was tired, he just bit wherever he wanted. He just acted a fool. And it's not because he's just trying to blow me off. It's literally he couldn't concentrate. Like he couldn't breathe as well. He couldn't concentrate. So it doesn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm retiring him, but he has a litter on the ground right now. And two of our trainers got puppies. I might get one to play with for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, PSA 1, it was cool. I closed out that title. I think we got first place the second day or something like that, and it was fun. It's fun.
You got a lot of dogs out here that want to be like Wapo though.
Yeah, bro. I you know what, man? I just it's weird, bro, but like I enjoy like putting on a little bit of a show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you gotta think about it like that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, and it's not that you're being cocky, but it's like, yo, I want to show, like, I want to show my dog. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way.
I mean, the people come to see a show.
Yeah, and when you get into that mentality, man, like it shows. Like people see it, they look at you different. Like the way both of you were out there, was like a show. I mean, it was a show, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the Sunday there was a little girl, probably like around 12 years old. After we came out, we got DQ'd. She stopped me, and she said, "You know what? What did she said? I've been here since yesterday, and wow, I love your dog.
Yeah,
I love him. And you know, and Rico's a showstopper.
Yeah,
he just puts up a show all the time, no matter what. That's just who he is. You know, like, and I don't take that from him.
Yeah,
I let him be him.
Yep.
But then getting that feeling, it feels good to come out here and show them all.
And I think dogs know.
Oh yeah,
they do know.
I think dogs know when they're putting on a show, bro.
They
Like
do know.
I feel, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, bro. But like even now, like I look at trainers that are like very talented. Like right now, I really like Jared Wolf up at I don't know where he's at, but like I look at his work and I'm like, that's dope. Nice. And his dog, like you should see his dog. You're like, yo, that dog knows he's fucking bad. He knows he's on point. You know what I'm saying? So like that pumps me up because I go, I want my shit to look better than that. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing. It's just like, I love that, man. I love when I see handlers like that. And I'm just like, yo, that was dope. When I saw Chris out there handling, I was like, yo, I could see myself right there. Like I could see myself in Chris. He damn near did it better than me. So to me, it's like, that's what it's about. You know, I see you out there, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, when I see Chris perform, I'm like, shit, that dude look like awesome.
But it's dope, man. It's dope. It's dope when you, when you get involved and you see that, man. And I think everybody, and the way Canine Street League is and the way it's structured to me, and it's not just because I'm involved in it, but it's just, it hits different, man, because it's a long day. You start with 27 competitors and you end with 6.
Yes.
And at the end, you might end up on a tie, and that's going to be a tiebreaker. Yeah. And whoever wins is going to win some money. And to me, yo, bro, to me, that is like That is what it's about,
That's
man.
what people come for.
And I already told him, I said, yo, we need to get more judges because I want to get in on this too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get in on it, so we need some judges. So I'm not the only one. And so, yeah, man. So, and then Roel just got his Rottweiler puppy, so we're going to be...
I mean, there's a lot of dogs coming, so
Let's get it, man.
Somebody might not make it this time, but they're coming in. By the time the next one, so...
That's cool, man.
But again, I want to give a lot of thanks out, too.
Yeah, man. Give a shout out, bro.
Shout out and give my thanks to, Mike, of course, from Street League and the whole organization and allowing us to perform and putting up a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Give my shout out to you for thanks, all the guys that helped me on my way up. Black Mask, South Bay, Hunt Down, PJ from Real Deals. Everybody that, even if you took a bite from my dog, you helped me.
Yep.
You helped me
That's
on my way up.
That's what it's about, man.
Whoever that I mentioned, but everybody that worked with me on Redemption Road, all them guys, like everybody helped me to get my dog where they're at.
That's what it's about.
I can't do it by myself.
Nah.
Nobody can.
Nah, man.
You need help. That's just how it is.
Yep.
Just pick and choose the right people to help you.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna have a hell of a dog.
Another thing, man, let me touch on this real quick. I really appreciate the way you took that. You know what I'm saying? Because not many people will take it that way. Like that DQ, you were like, yo, it sucks, but I messed up.
The way I seen it, like Oscar DQ'd me before. So this time with nothing.
It's funny because I was on
that feeling.
I was on the field recording the Instagram, and I heard it, and I seen Oscar walking up to him, and Oscar goes, "What did you say?" Kenny goes, "Damn," I said. A big old smile on his face.
I knew it,
I was like,
I was thinking about like
he knew.
I was counting, how many seconds? 6, 7, 8, 9. You caught me at 9. But I could. I was like, I said 9.
Yeah,
I knew it. Right with it. Why did you use that word? I had no idea.
I was just habit. I mean, and again, like Lauren, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Bro, she was doing great throughout the whole thing, and she said she gave a verbal correction. It was super like subtle, right? It was like subtle. I don't know who's watching.
Right.
I don't know if somebody that I failed last time because they said that, is watching. So at that point, I already mentioned it many times, right, throughout the trial. If you say this, you're out.
Right.
And so at that point, I had to do it, and I felt bad for her, man. She had a whole bunch of people there watching her and
Lauren
everything.
Kicks ass. Her and Bean kicks ass.
Yeah, and the dog, like her healing and everything was like phenomenal.
Yes.
But it's like, and I felt bad about it, and that's why I told Mike, I said, hey, bro, like we need to change the way we're doing things. Like I can't be the only guy out there, and usually I'm not. Rich is out there too, because I would rather Rich say it right there because
you did a hell of a job. I don't care whatever points you took from me or whatever. We know the rules. Mm-hmm. We know where we messed up at too. Mm-hmm. We know the rules that are being deducted. That's cool. You did a hell of a job.
Appreciate you, man.
I don't care who has what to say. You did a hell of a job.
Appreciate you, bro.
It's hard. It's tough being a judge.
Yeah, man. And it sucks because again, bro, I want to be cool with everybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, especially when you're a judge, people can't help but to feel like you're trying to screw them over. I feel like, and that's just the and to me, I'm like, yo, I don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying? But so what we're gonna do with Canine Street League is we're gonna redo the whole rule book. We're gonna mic handlers when they go in. We're gonna do replays. And we're gonna have people, other people, not just myself. We're gonna have other people behind, also doing their own score sheets. So at the end, it's fair for everybody. Right. And again, I apologize to anybody that feels they got screwed this weekend. We're gonna do better to better this organization. Like, bro, I don't think people understand how much is put in. Like, Ray Allen sponsored this one, man. It was bro. It's a big deal. It's not your regular trial. This is that
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen Manufacturing, Matt Wilson.
Okay.
They sponsored this trial number 3.
Okay.
And thanks to them, we were able to do what we do, and obviously Mike and Aaron and everybody over there at Primal, bro. But it's a production. Yeah. This isn't just your regular competition, and people need to feel. It's crazy because all you hear is the bad.
Right.
And you don't hear about the good, you know what I'm saying? And I wish more people would be like, yo, that was dope. Like,
it's just more people like to hear about the bad more than they hear about the good. The good is there.
Yeah.
You hear about the good all the time. It's just people, tend to pay more attention to the bat.
Yeah, bro. And so, like, you know, and some people walked up to me as like, you know, I'll never compete in this because this and that. I'm like, we're trying to get better. It's our third one. We're gonna get better. We are gonna get better. We are making changes. Today we were just talking all day with 4 different people about that just got into the judging side of it. So anyways, it's a bright future for Canine Street League, man, and it's just gonna get harder though. Why? Because I feel like, bro, we're trying to up the level of our handlers.
Yes,
like, you know what I'm saying? I want that 10 Kennys walk out there, and people are like, yo. This is what it's about. And again, I compare it to where the idea came from, the skating street league. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's the best skaters of the world show up to this event. This is what Canine Street League is going to be.
Right.
It's gonna have to be the best of the best at some point.
One of my dogs going to be in that damn best of the best.
Bro, your dog's already going to, bro.
Later on down the line, whether it's 5 years from now, we're gonna be competing.
Yeah, man.
I might be seeing Chris again back.
I'm sure you guys will be seeing each other again, man. But anyways, bro, listen, man. I want to thank you guys for coming out and talking dogs. I really enjoyed this. Chris, where can they find you, bro?
Oh, Instagram at Chris_Psycho_Sykes.
SYKES.
SYKES.
Bro?
Roel_G.
B Kenny1 or B.
You need to post more, bro, on Instagram.
I think it's B_Kenny1.
I don't do too much.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Social media, but man, I look at everybody's stuff and I wish I could just get at everybody. Man, I still got to put my thanks out to everybody for this past weekend.
That's dope, man.
But B_Kenny B.
What is it?
B_Kenny1.
Thank you.
If you just type in Rico, he'll pop up.
Thank you.
So. And then you guys could check my page out, Oscar Mora Dogs. And again, make sure you guys check out Canine Street League and Ray Allen Manufacturing. They have a page just for Canine Street League, of any of the gear that you might need. So make sure you guys check them out as well.
Right on.
Cool. Shout out Matt Wilson, Ray Allen Canine. Shout out Mike from Primal Canine.
Aaron,
the
whole crew.
All the decoys, all the crew. It was a great show. Guys, thanks once again for coming out.
Appreciate you, bro.
Commentators that were behind Rico.
Yeah, man.
Lone Duck, Katie Malone.
Katie Matthews.
Oh, Katie Matthews, sorry.
Yeah.
Katie Matthews.
And yeah, man, we'll see you guys on the next one, bro.
All right,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a good
Don't
one.
forget,
Elevate your mind.
elevate your canine.
Let's get it, baby.
Thank you, brother.
Let's get it. This that go and get it. With no hesitation. This that never